Alright, let's talk about car batteries. They're the heartbeat of your motor. Without a good battery, you're going nowhere fast. Every time you turn the key, you're relying on that little box of power to get things moving. It provides the initial jolt of electricity to start your engine. Once the engine's running, the battery takes a back seat. It powers all the electrical systems in your car when the engine's off. Your battery also acts like a stabilizer, smoothing out voltage spikes that could damage your car's electronics. But like any hard worker, car batteries don't last forever. They wear out over time, and when they do, you'll need to replace them. In the next sections, we'll dive into all that. Now let's get down to brass tacks. How long can you expect your car battery to last? On average, about 3 to 5 years. But remember, that's just an average. Some batteries might conk out after just 2 years, others might keep going strong for 6 years or more. It all depends on factors like the make and model of your car, how you drive, and where you live. Just because your battery's still working after 5 years doesn't mean it's in tip-top shape. As batteries age, they lose their ability to hold a charge. They might still start your car, but they're not as reliable as they once were. So, don't wait for your battery to die before you think about replacing it. If your battery's getting on in years, it's worth getting it checked out. A quick test can tell you how much life it's got left. It's better to replace a battery on your terms than to be stuck with a car that won't start. Now let's talk about what can shorten or lengthen your battery's life. First up, climate. Extreme temperatures are a battery's worst enemy. Hot weather can cause the liquid inside the battery to evaporate, leading to internal damage. Cold weather makes it harder for the battery to produce the power needed to start your car. Next, let's look at your driving habits. Short trips can be tough on your battery. Each time you start your car, you're using a bit of the battery's power. On longer drives, your alternator has time to recharge the battery fully. Another big factor is how you use your car's electrical systems. Things like your lights, radio, and air conditioning all draw power from the battery. If you're using these a lot when the engine's not running, you're putting extra strain on the battery. Regular checkups can help spot issues before they become problems. Keeping the battery clean, checking the connections, and topping up the fluid in older batteries can all help extend its life. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do you know when your battery's on its last legs? There are a few telltale signs. First up, slow engine crank. If the engine takes longer than usual to start, that's a red flag. Next, keep an eye on your dashboard. Most modern cars have a battery warning light. If this lights up, it could mean your battery's not charging properly. Another sign is a swollen battery case. If your battery looks like it's been hitting the gym, that's not a good sign. This can be caused by overcharging or extreme temperatures. Lastly, don't forget about good old father time. If your battery's more than 3 years old, it's worth getting it checked out. Even if it's not showing any obvious signs of trouble, it might be on its way out. Remember, it's better to replace a battery before it fails than to be left stranded. Trust me, I've been there, and it's not fun. In the next section, we'll look at how to test your battery. Section 5. Testing your car battery. DIY and professional methods. There are a few ways you can do this yourself. The simplest is the headlight test. Turn on your headlights when the car's not running. If they're dim, your battery might be weak. For a more accurate test, you can use a multimeter. A healthy battery should read around 12.6 volts when the car's off. To use a multimeter, just connect the red probe to the positive terminal and the black probe to the negative. But these DIY tests don't tell the whole story. For a more thorough check, you'll want a professional load test. This test puts your battery under stress to see how it performs. Most auto parts stores offer free battery testing. They'll use a special machine that can tell you exactly how much life your battery has left. If you're not sure about your battery's condition, it's worth popping down to your local auto store for a quick check. Section 6. Extending your battery's life practical tips. First up, keep it clean. A dirty battery can drain power. Use a mixture of baking soda and water to clean off any corrosion on the terminals. Next, think about your driving habits. Try to combine short trips into one longer journey. This gives your battery a chance to fully recharge. Be mindful of your electrical usage. If you're parked up and listening to the radio, consider turning the engine on. And when you're leaving your car, make sure everything's switched off. Lastly, consider using a battery maintainer if you don't use your car often. These devices keep your battery at the right charge level when your car's not in use. They're especially useful if you've got a classic car that spends a lot of time in the garage. In the next section, we'll discuss the importance of regular maintenance. Section 7. The importance of regular maintenance. Regular checkups can catch problems before they start. So, what does battery maintenance involve? For starters, check the connections. Make sure they're tight and free from corrosion. Loose or corroded connections can prevent your battery from charging properly. Next up, check the battery's mounting. A loose battery can get damaged from all the vibration as you drive. Make sure the battery is securely fastened in place. For older batteries, you might need to check the fluid levels. These batteries have caps on top that you can remove to check the electrolyte level. If it's low, you can top it up with distilled water. But be careful, this isn't a job for everyone. If you're not sure, it's best to leave it to the professionals. And remember, many modern batteries are sealed and maintenance-free, so you won't need to worry about this. Section 8. Choosing the right battery for your car. Now let's say you've decided it's time for a new battery. How do you choose the right one? Different cars need different batteries. The first thing to check is the size. Batteries come in different group sizes. You'll need to make sure you get one that fits your car's battery tray. Your car's manual should tell you what size you need. Next, think about the power output. This is measured in cold cranking amps, or CCA. The CCA rating tells you how well the battery will start your car in cold weather. As a rule of thumb, you'll want a battery with at least as many CCAs as your original battery. Lastly, consider the battery type. Most cars use lead-acid batteries, but there are different types within this category. AGM batteries are more expensive, but they're more durable and perform better. They're a good choice if you live in a hot climate or if your car has a lot of electrical accessories. Section 9. The battery replacement process, a step-by-step guide. Alright, so you've got your new battery. Now what? If you're handy with tools, you might want to replace it yourself. First, make sure you've got the right tools. You'll need a wrench to loosen the battery cables and maybe a pair of pliers. It's also a good idea to wear gloves and safety glasses. Next, locate your battery. It's usually under the hood, but some cars have it in the trunk or under a seat. Once you've found it, disconnect the negative cable first. Then disconnect the positive cable. Remove any clamps or brackets holding the battery in place. Lift the old battery out carefully. They're heavier than you might think. Put the new battery in place, making sure it's the right way round. Secure it with the clamps or brackets. Then connect the cables, positive first, then negative. Section 10. Safety first. Handling car batteries. Car batteries might not look dangerous, but they can be if you're not careful. They contain sulfuric acid and can produce explosive gases. Always wear protective gear. Gloves and safety glasses are a must. Long sleeves are a good idea too. If you get battery acid on you, wash it off immediately with lots of water. When you're working with batteries, keep metal objects away. Things like watches, rings, or tools can cause sparks if they touch the battery terminals. If you need to jump-start your car, be careful. Connect the positive cables first, then the negative. Make sure you connect the negative cable to an unpainted metal surface on the car body, not directly to the battery. This helps prevent sparks near the battery. When you're done, disconnect in the reverse order. Negative first, then positive. Section 11. The future of car batteries. What's on the horizon? Car batteries have come a long way, but they're still evolving. One of the biggest changes we're seeing is the move towards electric vehicles, or EVs. These use much larger, more complex batteries than traditional cars. EV batteries are lithium-ion batteries, similar to what you'd find in your phone, just much bigger. These batteries can power a car for hundreds of miles on a single charge, but they also come with their own set of challenges. They're expensive to produce and can take a long time to charge. Even traditional cars are getting smarter batteries. We're seeing more AGM and EFB, or enhanced flooded battery technologies. Looking further ahead, we might see solid-state batteries become common. The future of car batteries is exciting, and it's moving fast.